Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the NBA, the NFT morning show.
NBA, baby.
Sorry, Nick?
This is the NBA, baby.
It's the NBA. It's the big leagues. Today is Thursday, May 11th. If it's your first time tuning in, we run this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. Eastern time every week, where we discuss all things NFTs, crypto, technology, entertainment, gaming, finance, and just about everything in between. The show is also available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure you check it out on other platforms as well if you enjoyed the show. I'm your host, Pio, here with my co-host, Nifty Nick, the funniest man in the business. We got Signal, coder turned content creator, the host of Artist Spotlight, weather reporter extraordinaire. Absolutely love hearing her takes on this show. Easy Eats Bodega, the host of GM Market Talk, the dog behind Bodogo's NFT collection, soon to hit a blockchain near you. Day trader extraordinaire. Kix is moving today, so we got a little bit of a skeleton crew here. Of course, we have Spencer of Spencer Ventures representing for Institutional Capital on the video feed. I see he's sporting some serious Clone X and Artifact drip from the hat to the shirt. Very, very cool stuff. Clemente, the man behind the scenes, the head of growth at the Nifty, the producer of this show and the producer of the Bitcoin show for that matter, wouldn't be able to do the show without him. And last but not least, we have Bunny. Bunny, your bio just says that you wish Elon would pump your bags.
I mean, don't you?
So you don't have Milady exposure?
No, dude. I was never a big 4chan guy, you know?
Bunny, what do you make of that tweet from Elon?
I don't know. He was like, wasn't he like looking? He was like looking through his ex's replies or something. I think that's how he found it. Weird. Was he stalking his ex? Like he bought Twitter so he could stalk his ex.
It was a response to Grimes' tweet. It was two Miladies, and it looks like he liked it and then took it and reposted himself.
This is also the third time he's stolen a meme from someone in the NFT. This guy's got to make his own content.
Well, I remember when he posted the 6529 sees the memes one. What was the other time?
He stole a meme from a Bored Ape. I can't remember who it was.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we're gonna definitely dive into this story. I guess before I go any further, Nifty Nick, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. I had a dream about Elon.
Oh.
I sent him a text message to let him know about it.
You have his phone number?
Yeah, I've always had his phone number. We go back. Way back, and let him know I've been dreaming about you, man. I imagined him. I was at a holiday, like a family holiday situation, except my family was quite large. It was not my normal family, and I walked into one of the buildings. There were multiple. Mr. Beast was there. And I walked into another building where the Thanksgiving dinner was being prepared. There were two separate buildings that the family was split between because my family does include Mr. Beast. And I walk in and Elon's sitting there and it's just me and Elon chilling and we're chatting and we're hanging out. And we had a nice conversation. He was like, man, this has been really, he asked for some feedback on Twitter. I provided. He was like, this has been incredibly insightful. Could we schedule a meeting like this for again tomorrow? And we scheduled one for the next day. The dream didn't last long enough for me to determine whether or not that second dream occurred. But I did feel even in the dream that I was like, why is his calendar so empty? He showed me his calendar. and literally slotted me in. And I was like, oh, this dude has 3 meetings. And then afterwards, I'm thinking doesn't this guy work an insane amount? How was his calendar that empty? Something does not add up here. Little questionable. He was there because he was with some other family member who I don't know, some female who was dating him. And so she brought him along.
Okay, Nick, when I have dreams like that, I feel robbed when I wake up because I had such like a nice conversation with the thing in the, the entity in the dream. And I'm like, that entity didn't exist. It might as well be a ghost or something.
What do you mean?
I mean, you were having a conversation with Dream Elon.
And so you woke up being disappointed that conversation was not real?
Yeah, I feel robbed. I'm like, I was having a conversation with, this, like whatever that entity is in my brain. It's your brain playing tricks on you. It's not cool.
I've never ended up in that situation. Like where I was disappointed. I have been disappointed when I woke up because I died. Like there's some death that occurred. They say if you die in your dreams, then you die in real life. But like I always wake up right as the knife goes in, or right as the like some other, right as the elevator falls, right as someone attempts to choke me out, and I wake up assuming that I survived it.
Well, there you go. Spencer, how are you doing? I'm assuming a similar dream happened to you last night.
Well, I was doing good, and then I had to hear this like weird bit about a dream going on in Elon. Now
it's not a bit. Like I didn't like.
It's not a bit. It's real. This isn't pretend. This is real life. This is serious. This is people's lives we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm vibing. I'm having a good day. I'm watching. I don't know. One of the more ridiculous things that I've seen kind of unfold in the entire NFT space happened yesterday. And that was the whole ParaSpace debacle. I don't know if we're going to talk about that, but pretty strange to watch it play out. I've had a lot of people asking about it, and it's like there's a set of facts that I'm happy to share from what it appears externally, but it's just so messy and like it's just kind of nuts to me, right? Like you do some soul searching sometimes, and you look and you see that fully 10% of Bored Apes are in either ParaSpace or BendDAO. 10%.
That's a lot. That's 1,000.
A lot. 1,000. Yeah. Good math. Good math, Pio. You crushed it. We scared Nick off the video stream.
No, I had to get my tea. Was what I had to do. Okay. I was
dream tea.
He was really hoping that he could just fade back out of it and re-meet Elon and go back and ask him, Elon, can you put the Nifty Portal NFT? Can you put it on the timeline, please?
That'd be pretty funny and extra random. That one, people would be like, well, why are you doing this, Elon? No, I'm just kidding.
Because Elon's a fan of the show. We're crushing it. We've got the numbers up on the Twitter spaces. Elon's bringing, he's like, who could possibly I bring to this platform that would be more exciting than good Nicholas and Sir Pio and Clemente and the whole gang? The only person you could ever think of is Tucker Carlson, right? Like
I'd have him on the show in a heartbeat. That'd be badass. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into it. Today, we're going to talk about Elon Musk's tweet that we've mentioned here that sent the NFT space into a frenzy. We're going to talk about NFTFi platform ParaSpace. Spencer just brought it up, and the public meltdown and how this might impact Bored Ape Yacht Club holders that are staking their apes. And we're going to, I guess, have a bit of fun with Congressman Brad Sherman following his viral clip against Crypto Bros yesterday. I wonder if we're going to get Kevin McCarthy involved, if there's going to be some depth there on the government side. If you have anything that you'd like to share about these topics or a different topic that you think is worth discussing, hit that purple button in the bottom right of your Twitter Spaces screen and leave a comment or just request to speak, and we'll let you on stage. We have the crew. A couple of the crew members are out of town today, so we have a less dense stage, so feel free to come. Anyway, before we dive into the weather report, we want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's show, and that's Phantom Wallet. Phantom Wallet, as you probably know, is the leading wallet on Solana, but it's bringing its millions of users over to Ethereum and Polygon. So people on Ethereum and Polygon can now experience Phantom's badass superior user experience with and also NFT features. So with Phantom, you can easily showcase your NFTs across all three networks, and you manage them in one convenient location. You don't have to worry about switching wallets anymore. And Phantom has a browser extension as well as world-class apps for both iOS and Android. That's right, mobile apps, so you can access your wallet from anywhere. You can search and pin your NFTs and hide spam to make sure your collection is organized. One of the most popular features is the ability to directly list and edit your NFT prices on different marketplaces without leaving the Phantom Wallet app. You've heard me talk about this before. It's already live for Solana, but it's coming very soon for Ethereum NFTs. It's great because even if a marketplace is messing up, you can just list directly from the wallet. So the upgrade to Phantom is seamless. You don't have to send your NFTs or transfer assets. You just import your MetaMask wallet directly into Phantom. So visit phantom.app and import your ETH wallet. That's phantom.app. Anyway, moving on to the weather report. I know it was Kix's day, but I think he's in the middle of moving. Signal, I know you're on the move also. Signal, are you able to tackle the? Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm able to get that signal. You know, I was thinking, does Elon Musk ever have a dream where he goes, "I walked into a room and Nick was there"?
Probably. I mean, look, like I said, we go way back, and that seems to be. He never really mentions me or gives me shout outs, but that doesn't mean that we're not close.
Oh no, I'm just hoping he does, you know. But if you're not having as sexy dreams as Nick with Elon Musk, I hope you are. Let's see if we can level it up and make your bags go up in your dreams.
Unfortunately, but
sorry, Nick.
I said he didn't take his clothes off in it, unfortunately, but maybe in the next one.
Episode 2, let's watch. Anyway, today, everyone, Thursday, the 11th of May. That market volume is looking sexy as well. It is back up over 50% on yesterday. We're up at 41 million. Blur as well, looking beautiful at 26, and OpenSea at 10. Onto leaders, it's looking a little bit slippery slope down. Apes at 43, Mutants just under 10 at 9.8. Punks are nicely sitting comfortably above Apes at 49.4. Azuki holding 14.5. DGod's doing well at 8.6. Captains holding strong at 7.1. Pudgy seeing a little bit of a retrace off the back of that announcement, now down to 3.9, and Moonbirds at 2.1. Over the past 24 hours, well, Elon Musk, we've talked about him. He sent the markets into a tailspin after he tweeted a Milady meme. The Milady trading activity skyrocketed. It sent the floor from 3.8 all the way up to 7.5. And it was actually the second highest blend trading collection yesterday after Azuki. Onto the meme coin side of the market, and it's Coinbase versus PEPE. The company is facing FUD after they wrote in a newsletter that PEPE is a hate symbol of the alt-right. Hashtag delete Coinbase is trending on Twitter and has now broken 40,000 tweets. Let's see who wins that battle. Onto the art side of the market, an artist Alpha Centauri Kid's collection of Broken Keys sold out in an auction. There were 48 one of one pieces, and he raised more than 1.35 million in revenue. The big collectors came in, including BBD, OSF, and a 6529 fund. And lastly, crypto dick butts, also on the meme coin side of things, they're up 30% after the token Gooch announced that 10.5% of the token allocation would go to the CBD holders based off the 5th May snapshot, and another 10.5% following an August 5th snapshot. And that floor is up to 1.6 ETH. So we're seeing these OG crypto collections just getting rained on with money. Maybe we should be in them. I don't know. Onto crypto, things are pulling back just slightly. BTC at 27.4, ETH at 1.8, Solana holding 20, and Ape a little bit down to 3.2. So on the NFT side of the market, on the weather side, is looking pretty sunny. Back to you, folks.
Absolutely fantastic weather report as usual, Signal. Some other updates from the Nifty Daily Digest, which is the daily newsletter that we publish at thenifty.com. You're also going to need to have an account on that website on thenifty.com if you want to claim today's free NFT. So make sure that you go there and sign up. Spencer touched on this. NFT-Fi protocol ParaSpace addressed concerns over the 2,909 Ethereum recovered from a hack and removed its CEO from the protocol's multi-sig following allegations of treasury mismanagement. Beyond that, OpenSea Pro introduced the Farmer Wallet Labels feature, enabling identification of users frequently engaging in bid-based buying and selling and displaying the percentage of items they hold within a specific collection. Seems like an effort to try to compete with Blur. We'll see if it has any impact. Last but not least, the IRS filed claims of nearly $44 $24 billion against bankrupt crypto exchange, now infamous exchange, FTX, potentially placing it ahead of other creditors. Good God, IRS trying to get a piece. Those are your updates from the Nifty Daily Digest. I think I want to go a little out of order off of this call sheet, Clemente. I think we got to talk about the Milady tweet from Elon Musk. We definitely have to get to ParaSpace 1,000%. I also want to talk about Coinbase. A lot of interesting stuff to talk about today. But this Milady meme from Elon, I mean, obviously Elon Musk is not a dumb guy. He's not a guy that's unaware. Does he realize what he's doing? Like, does he know that he's pumping NFTs with these memes?
I mean, the question is, do you think he went and bought over a period of a long time to see it, or is he just pining for his ex?
He's been accumulating Miladies steadily.
No,
I hear that's been part of the future strategy of his sort of assets under management.
You joke, but I'm so certain that he did that with Doge, right? Like, it's not a huge jump to think that he and his friends were doing that, right?
Fair. Well, so what makes you think he certainly did it with Doge?
I mean, like, what do you think? Like, why did you not think that he did that, right? Like, he changed the icon of Twitter to Dogecoin and pumped it, like, in the most obvious full send thing ever. Like, you'd really have to be some sort of idiot to not like have exposure to the pump you just did. Like, what, like, especially with Doge, the amount of market cap that he's creating every time he tweets about it is so significant. There's no way he doesn't have exposure to it, right? Like, he's clearly pumping his own bags.
Okay, so Spencer, you know, he's one of the richest people in the world. He's got several businesses. Obviously, Tesla, right? That's his kind of biggest nut. You know, you think basically he's like, I need extra liquidity. Let me create some with Doge because I can do it very easily.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder how much he's putting in and how much he's taking out. It must be a lot.
I mean, it's on the order of magnitudes of like probably like 5 to 10 million, right? Like, just needs a little spending cash here or there. Like, boop, let me tweet about Doge, get some call options, yada yada, lever up, whatever, right?
Nick, do you think this is happening? Do you think that Elon is basically making leveraged bets on Doge and other assets as he pumps them through the platform he now owns, Twitter?
I don't know about Twitter. I don't know about Doge. I'm going to take the under on Miladies being something that he's doing.
Yeah.
That said, you know, that guy's a sneaky guy. And when we had a conversation in our meeting yesterday, it seemed
you mean you and him had a conversation in your dream?
Excuse me, I'm speaking. When he and I were having a conversation yesterday, it became pretty clear, you know, that he's so heavily focused on, you know, strategic directions of Twitter that it's not clear to me that he'd have time to do that sort of thing right now, especially with the amount that he's working, that he would spend all that time to collude on Miladies. I do think that that's a way easier thing for him to do, or far easier for him to do with Doge. And unless he has a team member whose job is to essentially manage small amounts of illiquid assets for him to corner the market and make, you know, $50,000 at a time when he's either number one or number two richest person in the world, I'm going to take the under.
I like it. Bunny, any thoughts on this tweet from Elon Musk, the results it had on Miladies? What do you think, Bunny?
I mean, I think if you didn't sell your Milady, you're out of your mind after the tweet. I think Spencer's right. He's definitely pumping his Doge bag. Like, how could you not think that? And I wish he would have tweeted about Bored Apes because they're down pretty bad.
Well, if you remember, he made his profile picture a bunch of Bored Apes, and I feel like that actually didn't have an insane effect on the price. Am I wrong about the result of that?
I don't remember the exact price action. I know it went up after he did it because I think even Kix was like Kix was like breaking. Everybody was deep diving into the nobody.eth wallet.
Yeah.
Like saying it was fucking Elon after that.
I
don't
remember
know who would have done that.
Spencer, I saw you on mute. Did you have a comment on that? And then we can move on.
Yeah, I remember it went up in price. I think it may have not been as substantial as like percentage-wise as this Milady pump, but yeah, I don't know. The thing is also like about Miladies here is like, as much as I hate to admit it, I do think Miladies are probably sticking around. Like, I don't know. Like it wouldn't shock me if they don't pull back as hard as people would expect. Just like unlike the Punk 6529 memes, this feels like it has a community.
Yeah, I mean, I briefly went on the Miladies website yesterday, and it was my first time actually going on the proper Miladies website. And what I'll say is I do feel as though the project was created with themes and kind of a cohesive idea in mind. Whether or not it's an idea that you're into, the website looks like it's from the early 2000s. They clearly articulate exactly what the art theme is of the collection. Here it is right here. I guess it's Y2K era Japan. Is like this. It's a very specific cultural reference. If you like, Clemente, real quick, play that audio. See that little audio?
Yeah.
Play that. I don't know what vibe they're trying to create. Well, I mean, I do know what vibe they're trying to create. Turn it off. It makes me uncomfortable. Turn it off. It makes me uncomfortable. But like, they even give you an audio vibe for the website. Then if you scroll down, Clemente, there's like so here we go. Milady style is inspired by the subcultural fashion tribes of Y2K Japan. So it's like a very distinct inspiration. Then if you go down, lifestyle stuff, whatever, they specify that the Miladies are designed for VR. Then they have a video of a rave from last summer with Miladies. And the way it's shot, the way it's edited is, I mean, it's very good for capturing what they're trying to go for. There was definitely a lot of thought put into the collection. Is it for a specific demographic? I would say yes. But I did find it interesting. Go ahead, Spencer.
You're beating around the bush here, which is that this is sort of like, there's all these like pedophilia, like things about Miladies. There's like 4chan-y stuff.
So I'm trying to understand what that, like the design of the website looks like 4chan, but I'd like to understand more. Up until now, we've always described it as being like, if only they knew what this was associated with. I'm too uncomfortable to discuss it. I'm trying to understand what that is. Like, is it that disturbing that because why are there other people that I know that actually have Miladies on Twitter? And
Franelations has a Milady.
Yeah, why do they feel comfortable with it if it's so deeply associated with pedophilia?
So like there's this thing, there's this side of crypto, right? And crypto interactions that's like the more like you push out normies, the more you can get to like the true degen alpha or whatever, right? So there's period of times, like I would say during DeFi summer, it was like if you ran into someone whose Telegram was like hentai and they had like a Japanese username on Telegram, like that's where you were getting the real alpha because they're like doing some sort of thing that like makes a normie uncomfortable. And so like I think like that's the cultural element of crypto that these are trying to like play on. I don't know. It's definitely strange to me.
Well, yeah, no one said it's definitely not mainstream, right? It's not a fastball down the middle, but clearly it's attracted, a certain audience. And I guess it encaptures a vibe. And I'd say it is definitely deep internet, 4chan, but there's a whole side. I mean, dude, the PEPE meme coin is basically just an example of like deep internet crypto, like the kind of penultimate of the Anon 4chan message board forum, weird kind of culture. I don't know. Like, anyone else have any thoughts on this before we move on? We can move on from Miladies.
Well, I think you definitely landed yourself on an FBI watch list just for going on the website.
I mean, did I? It's just an NFT site.
Pio made me do it. The only thing that I noticed yesterday, Pio, was a rare mistake, I think, by Blur. They got so excited about this frenzy that was going on that they tweeted out, PSA, you can buy a Milady for only 0.9 ETH and pay or sell the rest later.
Why is that a mistake? They were advertising their product.
It's how many of your users, it was the floor was at 5.7 ETH. How many of your users are going to get wrecked from that? And it was, I would call it kind of an endorsement of one platform or of one collection. I don't think it's looking out for your users' best interest, in my opinion, but I'm happy to listen to different perspectives there.
I mean,
like in the middle of an Elon Musk gigapump, they're like, hey, come pay 1/5 of the actual price with like 100% interest daily.
But that's what the product is. That's the product is, buy a
predatory lending.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Spencer, what do you think? Do you think that was a misstep? I don't think so personally, but I'd love to know what you think. That Blur was basically trying to advertise their product, the Blend product, in that moment.
Why would that be a misstep? I mean, this is because okay. The thing you have to understand about Blend is actually an options protocol. Blend is not really a loan protocol. It's like a call and put options protocol, right?
Yep.
And so, like, of course, the thing is, like, options protocols, even if it's high interest rate, right? Like, make the most sense over, like, high interest rate per function of time makes sense the most over short time horizons, right? So if you want to gamble on just like longing an Elon tweet, yeah, blend everything, right? Like that makes like sense as like the degen gambling use case, right? If you're going to take a 3% per day interest rate loan, then you should do that like on a collection that is like huge volatility, because otherwise you're just going to lose money.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I just think that's what the product is. So I'm not surprised that they tweeted it out then. Moving on, this Coinbase commentary, the reason I think that this is interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't aware, I think a lot of PEPE meme coin holders were calling for PEPE to be listed on major exchanges like Coinbase. Gemini, I think, did list PEPE, for example. Go ahead, Nick.
What's the deal? What's OX Poly's involvement with PEPE coin? Does anybody know?
He has a bunch of it, I think. Like
all I know is he was hard shilling it in critiques of the Bored Ape Yacht Club in a response to a tweet that I had.
Okay, so, but he's not like the creator of it, because I was trying to figure out if me buying this was putting money in his pocket, and if so, I would never trade it again.
Nick, there are individuals that have speculated that he is either the lone creator or on a team of creators of the coin. It seems as though he has quite a bit, and it seems as though it's very possible if you were to put money into it, some of that liquidity would make its way into his wallet. That's the way that I kind of read the situation. Maybe I'm way off, but it seems like since the day it came out, all he's talked about on Twitter every single day constantly is that.
Yeah. So I have him muted, but I got tagged in something, and that something involves him writing about all these scammer influencers
like
on
you.
Twitter.
Yeah,
and then literally the next day goes and pumps a shit coin. So it's like the irony of like, so like, I mean, he's just a toxic person in this entire space, but so I don't need to discuss
this is
it.
going to get clipped, and it's going to get put into an AI rap song about PEPE shitting on you. And that song's actually going to probably be pretty good. So I'm looking forward to hearing that song. Well, no, because the AI songs are all sick. Like, I don't know if you heard the AI PEPE song with Drake. It's good. It's like good.
It'll probably be done by him since he's so obsessed over us. I mean, it's like literally he's obsessed over that and losing money to Bored Ape Yacht Club and creating racist bullshit. But yeah, I mean, seems like a good use of his time.
There you go. So anyway, the reason I think that the Coinbase thing is interesting is because Coinbase responded to the requests of listing PEPE. And as we commented before, they said, and I think, yeah, okay, here's the official statement. Over time, PEPE has been co-opted as a hate symbol by alt-right groups, including according to the Anti-Defamation League. The reason I think that this is interesting is because Brian Armstrong in years past declared a position that Coinbase doesn't have any sort of like political take on issues, right? That is not what Coinbase is going to do. And I think that's really good. But this almost like feels like it bleeds into that, and it's about a crypto asset. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
I don't know. Like here's the thing, right? Like this is true. This is part of Pepe's history. Like I don't think this is a political statement, right? Like are people debating whether this was true or not?
No,
Like,
I think
yes, they were. I was on a Pepe space last night.
So because that's just like
they were saying it was misinformation. I'm like, it's quite literally information. Like,
no, it's like
listed on the ADL's website, bro. Like
this is the thing is like, yeah, it would be wrong to talk about the history of Pepe and not mention like Pepe has been reclaimed by internet degens as a meme, but it was a meme that was for a period of time claimed like almost exclusively by the alt-right. Like that's a thing. That's like that, right? Like this is a true science fact. And so people want to cope and pretend like it's fake news, but it's just not. And so what you see too is the pictures going around Twitter clipped it. So it ended at the like whatever, like at them saying that. But this was actually like a whole long thing that Coinbase wrote that was like the history of it. I think people have their panties in a twist over this. This is the silliest like gripe that I've seen in quite a while from a group of people like, you know, the hardcore Pepe degens. Like, I mean, I don't know, like, like, are you really this soft? Like, okay, Pepe snowflakes, like, fucking go off. Like, I don't know, like, you just pretend that history didn't happen. Like, yes. Like,
Spencer, I thought it was weirder that they like spoke about like the price action of Pepe. They're like, it went down a quick 50% from all-time highs, although there were some people who like generated like millions of dollars from it. It was like strange.
It is odd. The overall message is weird. I got a Coinbase story for you. This is totally unrelated, but worthwhile sharing, which is similar to before. I had someone call me up and say their Coinbase support and someone had tried to take over my account and withdraw $7,000, which is funny because I don't have $7,000 in a Coinbase account. So they were like, yeah, we're the Coinbase fraud department. And I was like, oh, you're the Coinbase fraud department? And the guy's like, yeah, like, why are you laughing at that? I'm like, okay, yeah, keep going. Tell me more about what happened to my account. And he was like, April O'Neil, who may be a family member of yours. I don't have an April O'Neil.
April, that's a good name.
She is in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. April O'Neil was a character in there. And, you know, she's also located in Brooklyn, New York, so must be a family member or something, was attempting to withdraw money from your account. And I'm like, okay, tell me more. He's like, you're not concerned? Like literally kind of like appalled at my response to this whole thing. Cause I'm like, oh yeah. Like, what do I need to do next? Like, do I need to give you a password reset code? Anyways, there's the, I've received a lot of these attempts of trying to take over, including with Apple recently. So that's what's going on.
You're a fishing target, Nick. You know, on this Coinbase situation, what's your take? Because I'm approaching this not from the take of like a Pepe snowflake, as Spencer pointed out, or a denier of the adoption of the Pepe meme from the alt-right. I'm not in either of those camps. I'm in the camp that's interested in why Coinbase is like, you know, just taking a position on this, whereas like, I feel like the brand before this moment would have just said, we don't have anything to do with that. This is a crypto asset. It's literally a contract and a ticker, and we're going to put it on our platform. Like, I don't know. Is this interesting to you at all, Nick?
Not really. I mean, because it's just more debate over a meme coin. Look, Coinbase has a bigger situation, which is how they like curate these coins is very subjective.
Yeah.
And that's the bigger thing about this whole story, which is sort of like if you're operating in this space, getting listed on Coinbase is like the holy grail. Getting listed on Gemini is decent. I don't know that it has any price action necessarily. Outside of the leading up to it, like the getting listed on Coinbase is what gives you that spike as they go buy a bunch and create their own internal liquidity pool as a result of it. But yeah, it's not like I don't have any skin in the game with Pepe at this point in time. I mean, part of me is interested. We looked at the technicals, I think, yesterday, and I was like, yeah, okay, maybe I'll get a little more, or I'll buy some just to see what happens. But generally speaking, it is odd that they got into the political side. Their messaging is just really weird. And you need to think, like, what are they trying to signal with that action? Like, why did they send that email out to everybody, right? Like that's a bigger thing, which to me is like, oh, they're on the like the SEC is watching all the emails that they send. And so they were trying to like signal something else weirdly in there, trying to be like, oh, no, like we're very selective in the tokens that we list. We don't just place anything. Like
it wasn't an email to all the, it was a part of the Coinbase Bytes newsletter, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know. I mean, maybe then their internal content team had nothing else to write about, basically, and they were like, okay, we'll just write about this.
Yeah, I don't want to get hung up on it. It just feels weird that they would like that's the take that they would put forward.
Could it just be like a disclaimers? Maybe they are going to list it, right? And like they're like, this is just like context around the coin since it has that name.
It's just weird to me that they would like make that commentary again, knowing Brian Armstrong and his previous positions on things like this. It's strange that this is suddenly something that, brings his commentary. I don't know. We don't have to, keep harping on it. We can move on. Look, we're going to talk about what Spencer brought up in just a second, which is ParaSpace CEO Yubo Ruan's suggested mismanagement of almost 3,000 Ethereum. Just before we get into that, I just want to shout out our sponsor, Phantom Wallet, one more time. So look, a lot of you probably know Phantom Wallet, but you might not know that it's about to pop off with great features for Ethereum and Polygon. What's so funny? What are you guys smiling at right now?
Spencer, or sorry, Clemente had me pinned to the top, so I started making funny faces at the screen.
Okay, all right. Well, let me cook. Anyway, with some of the most notable figures in the space getting hacked, Phantom has set out to create a better solution and improve on the security issues that many users have had with competitors like MetaMask. Phantom is making their products for the end user, for the individual trader, right? So got the browser extension, got the mobile apps, and both of those actually offer a transaction simulator prior to completing the transaction to make sure that you're protected and your assets aren't phished. Phantom also supports Ledger Mobile, ensuring that your assets are kept secure even with hardware wallets. And Phantom has support for multiple seed phrases, so you can import and manage all your wallets in one place without the need to send NFTs or transfer assets. Last but not least, Phantom has a dope user interface, which is super important. And they're putting an emphasis on the user interface, and that's what their competitors don't do. They're making this for the end user. So it makes it easy to preview transactions, understand malicious activity, and there's just not like a bunch of confusing mumbo jumbo when you're going to buy an NFT. Anyway, if you're ready to upgrade your wallet security, go and download Phantom at phantom.app. That's PHANTOM.app, and import your ETH wallet for the ultimate NFT experience. So look, Spencer, it seems like you are on top of this ParaSpace situation. If you want to kind of serve it up for us, I'd love to hear it. We got notes right here if you need additional context too.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so here's kind of like, I think this is a situation that's still unfolding, so I want to be a little careful here not to give credibility to one side or the other, because I don't know the full extent of what's going on, right? But here's kind of the facts as we see them as an external observer. Is basically, we know a few weeks ago there was a very large hack on the order of magnitude of about 3,000 ETH on ParaSpace. Now, there was a group of white hat hackers that front ran the actual hack and took the money. Now, they took a 5% bounty for having done this and then returned the rest. But they didn't return it to the protocol. They returned it to a different wallet, which it turns out is the CEO's wallet, not controlled by others. Additionally, the protocol itself had a really strange signatory setup for the multi-sig that deployed the contract, which was 2 of 5 signers. Now, it appears that like 1 to 2 of those signers is the CEO, and maybe other people didn't know that, etc. But a bunch of other team members have gone and said, hey, the CEO is not giving the money back to the protocol. And they went through all of the investors, etc., and got access to the social media accounts and access to the multi-sig. And they have removed the CEO from both of those. Now, the CEO has come out and said that this is a social engineering attack on the protocol by the like marketing people who are the ones who took it over. I think most people I have seen are siding with the people who have taken over the social media and the contract. That seems to be the vibes on the internet. But again, I don't want to make a specific claim. The thing that I do think is important here is, and so the amount of money that the protocol itself is missing is not that substantial in the scope of how large the protocol is. And I think they are capitalized enough to plug that hole. But like, and this is sort of at least my takeaway from this is just ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous that there's a couple of things going on. One is that there are not even one, but 2 protocols that have 5% of Bored Apes in them, right? In a single wallet. There's 2 wallets of 5%. ParaSpace is one of them. The second is, like, you have to back solve, like, why are we in this situation? It's because the contract that Horizon Labs wrote for ApeCoin, like, doesn't include a lot of very fundamental things. There's no claim all button. There's no auto compounding. And because the Bored Apes, like the way you stake ApeCoin is on a Bored Ape, you can't delegate to other people the right to staking. You have to deposit your Bored Ape in another contract in order for you to like lend out your staking rights, which is a valuable asset within the Bored Ape ecosystem. And so it drives people towards doing things you shouldn't do, which is like the not your keys, not your crypto thing, where you have a bunch of coins and assets. Now, luckily, there have not really yet been exploits of the apes in the protocol. However, if this is a social engineering attack, which again, I don't think it is, but it could be, right? It's not unreasonable to think this is a social engineering attack with a poorly set up signing logic on a multi-sig. Like, the question is, if that is true and to be believed, which again, I don't think it is, but it speaks to what could happen, and it could have been a social engineering attack, right? Then perhaps the apes are also at risk. And so this is like a question of so what happens in the short run, right, with literally ParaSpace, but then also long run, is this enough impetus to fix the issues with the ApeCoin contract? The complexity here, too, is it's unclear who has the signing authority to upgrade the ApeCoin contract itself. It's kind of weird if you look into things like the ApeCoin DAO funds on a monthly basis the contract. It is not a contract deployed by ApeCoin.
Are you working on this proposal that we have pulled up, or are you just supporting the proposal that other people are making?
No, this is a proposal that I wrote.
Oh, wow. You're going off on ApeCoin.
I have an AIP that's being drafted right now to redo the ApeCoin staking contract such that you can auto compound, claim all, and no longer and delegate the wallet which you stake from, such that you don't need to deposit apes and other shit. Because my view on all of it is like, it's one thing if people use third-party things where they deposit whatever. Like if you're trying to get loans against your shit or whatever, like, you know, you do you, like, go off, king, like it's your asset, right? But the thing is this: when you have 10% of Bored Apes in 2 wallets for these auto compounding protocols, like, this is an existential risk to the whole ecosystem. And even if you're not using ParaSpace, guess what? You can't avoid exposure if you're owning Bored Apes to ParaSpace, because there's 500 Bored Apes in one wallet on ParaSpace, just Bored Apes.
Yeah.
Not to mention mutant apes, dog, etc.
Yeah.
And not to mention ApeCoin. So, like, it's just my view. I'm like, did I want to write a proposal and deal with this? No, this is not what I want to be doing with my time.
How many Bored Apes do you have in the fund wallet?
The fund has sub 10 Bored Apes. Like, we do not have a ton of, like, this is not a huge exposure for us. It's a reasonably large bag, especially because they're, I think, pretty nice Bored Apes. But like, this is just also like everything in the whole NFT space is impacted by the price of Bored Apes. And if you don't think so, you're wrong, because everyone's doing math on the multiples that a collection can reach if it becomes the price of a Bored Ape. Everyone is impacted by this thing going on with ParaSpace. Like, this is meaningful to everyone. And this is also like ApeCoin and all the gripes people had. At first, I was just complaining. And I was like, you know what? I am not going to be the person that just complains. I want to do something about this.
You
right?
popped open ChatGPT. You said, write me a proposal for ApeCoin. Boom, chefed it up.
Yeah, you know what? And it took me maybe like 10 minutes. Like this, like, I don't know. Like,
I saw the tweet process yesterday, but I'm wondering, like, even the practicality of deploying another contract, like just even the technical side of this, and also like how big of a pain this really is for like the average ApeCoin staker, like, because it feels like, look, your full-time existence is really focused on optimizing your portfolio. But I think the average person probably that's like not their primary thing. So
two things. One is addressing both your things. So like, one is, this is actually the average ApeCoin staker is doing the optimized and lazy thing, which is depositing in ParaSpace. Because the problem is that if you have staked the max amount of ApeCoin in the actual contract, right? Then you get additional ApeCoin. That ApeCoin is just sitting there, and you have to claim, which is a very gas-intensive button, and it's distinct. You have an ape, a mutant, and a dog. You have to claim 3 distinct times and pay gas, and then deposit back in the contract to put it in either if you have less than this max staked on your Bored Ape or back into the pool. So you're earning like significantly more staking via ParaSpace than you are staking via the actual contract, is one thing. The second thing is deploying a new contract is actually easier than you think, because there isn't a contract that has a bunch of ApeCoin in it that is given out over time. There's a contract that is funded monthly that is not managed by the DAO. And so, like, you can just deploy a new contract, stop funding the original contract, and fund a new contract.
So is this a major misstep from Yuga Labs, or just something where, you know, after you roll this out, you kind of figure out that there might be 1 or 2 small holes in it, and as a result, you got to clean those up?
So this is the interesting thing about this. Yuga Labs did not write the staking contract.
Oh, right.
A third party called Horizon Labs wrote the staking contract. And there's a lot of like hand waving around what's going on with Horizon Labs, but it seems like Horizon Labs won't touch the staking contract to fix it or the front end. Like, they have shipped this and walked away, and it does not seem like there's a working relationship between Horizon Labs and the DAO at this point, which is very odd, but also like seems like one of those, hey, this isn't talked about, but like, read what's on the wall here, which is that like they won't upgrade their own contract, and the signing rights to upgrade the ApeCoin contract do not seem to be with the DAO. They seem to be with Horizon Labs, which is why they don't fund the contract for longer than a 1-month period at any given time.
You're just a vigilante at this point, taking down Horizon Labs and ParaSpace, you know, for the greater good of the Bored Apes. No, I'm just kidding. But I love to hear.
Are there any Bored Apes remaining that are actually part of the community, or is it all just held by flippers?
Bunny. Well, Bunny's got a Bored Ape. I want to hear.
I don't know who's here. Don't ask me, dude. They're all gone. 1 or 2 of them in the crowd still.
Spencer, go ahead.
Yeah, I was actually going to shout out Bunny. You know what? This may be the day that I follow Bunny back.
You don't follow me? What the fuck, Spencer? Did you guys know that? Is that even legal? You know, make them follow me.
Wait, Spencer doesn't follow Bunny?
No, dude, we've
All right,
literally...
I just followed you, Bunny. You know what? Ape follow ape is not dead. The community is thriving and is here.
Okay.
That's hilarious. I didn't know I had to implement a rule. If you are a core, you know, panelist on this show, you have to follow the other core panelists.
I created a list at the beginning of Bored Ape Yacht Club that tracked all of the Bored Apes on Twitter, and people would like DM me to get on the list. I wonder now, like if you scroll through that list, I bet 90% of people don't have a Bored Ape PFP anymore. But it was interesting. So there was a tweet going around that showed like back when Zeneca had started, which was in June of 2021, his like sort of spreadsheet tracking floor prices. And by the way, quick lesson on that. I've multiple times had situations where people with spreadsheets have outperformed software. And I highly recommend doing it if you're thinking about making some sort of app or something like that, tracking data. Just do it with the spreadsheet, post screenshots. But his first thing, it had Bored Apes at like 3 ETH.
Yep,
and
dogs at 0.8.
Yeah, and it had gone down like by 0.2 the day
Right.
before.
Down 15%, down to 3 ETH.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, that's like at that moment in time. Like, it feels like that's not that much, but if a stock went down 15% in a day or goes up, it's more common now, I guess. But that used to be like a pretty big deal.
CryptoPunks at 16 ETH. ETH at 3K though, so like that Bored Ape is $9,000, and this is right after they got the claim of the dogs. So it's not like mega obvious, like, oh, I got to take $9,000 and dump it into this Bored Ape.
Well, CryptoPunks actually at 17.49, up 10% from the day before at 15.9. And this is when ETH is probably around 3,200 or something.
Yeah.
And so if you take 30, I mean, those punks were still $50,000 at that point in time. And I remember feeling like, oh, I just have a Bored Ape, it's just, and at this point I had offset the cost of my Meebit. By the way, those Meebits, I think, sold for 2.5 ETH like weeks prior, and they're down
sitting
to
at 1.
Yeah, under 1, because literally the punks had dumped on all the Meebit holders. So I'd lost $5,000 at this point in time. So like, if you had this like Bored Ape, you're like, okay, I guess I kind of offset my losses here on the Meebit debacle. But it wasn't obvious.
Yeah, and look at the biggest percent winner is my effing pickle. It's too bad Kix is in here today because he had 10% or something. He had like 5%. Yeah, 10% of the whole supply. And then he didn't sell them. He could have made like over $150,000, and he didn't sell them because he had tweeted about them and thought it would be unethical. And all of his in real life friends said he was like the dumbest guy on the planet. I mean, think about in June 2021, you could have made 150K off of an NFT that's literally called My Fucking Pickle. And it literally, if you go to the thesis behind it, it said on the website, it's a pickle. This was by Cole Therium before he made Pudgy Penguins. And Kix had 10% of the supply, and they went to like, I don't remember what number, could have made 200 grand, didn't sell any of them. His in real life friends were like, you're ridiculous.
Well, it didn't make sense that he didn't like even like, I remember at that time, and of all of the quote unethical things he could have been doing, this falls really low down that list. like he bought a bunch of them and could have dumped them for a significant amount. And I think the reason he felt guilty was he was in the fucking pickle Discord, and he
was building a pickle economy. He literally was compensating people with pickles, posting job descriptions, building a whole economy. Spencer, you unmuted for a moment. What did you want to comment?
The thing that I was looking at that list, because I saw that tweet yesterday, and the thing that was striking to me about it was all the random other projects of like, looking back, it's like, oh, if you were early in the space, like you should have had Bored Apes, you should have had punks, like you should have made just infinite money, right? But there were so many traps. That's the thing that people don't remember about the period of time, is that like, and the thing too is like the NFTs that ultimately went to zero from that period weren't like cheap NFTs. It was like you're looking at like imagine if like the random like cheap projects that maybe could make it are like an eighth the price of a Bored Ape, right? Like that's what it was at the time. And this is like every time that I like, when people always ask me like what the worst trades I ever made in NFTs were, it was trades during that period of time, which were like, it's not like I, in an absolute sense, lost the most money off that trade. It's just like, I had this instead of buying like a 2 ETH Bored Ape. Like you have to understand the trade-offs there were so egregiously bad, right? It's like, that's the real regrets. Those are the ones you're like,
For sure. And so like real quick, pause this.
Kix on this video is very clean shaven and looks like he hasn't been through the bear market. I'm wondering like if you look at myself literally just in the last 2 years, the amount of aging that's been done as a result of all this is probably
I feel like I look the same, but so ladies and gentlemen, on the YouTube stream, Clemente has a video pulled up from June 2021. It's me and Kix on a YouTube stream, and he's talking about my fucking pickle. I look at myself, I look the same, except I haven't ruptured my Achilles yet at that point. So I think athletically, I must have been in a stronger place. But this is just so funny. This is Kix in his basement. He used to do this in his basement. To his left is a 3D printer that he bought right at the start of COVID because golf was getting hot, and he was going to 3D print golf balls in preparation of a golf ball shortage. He thought he was going to literally print money in 3D form with a like talk about an entrepreneur.
You know, he never even mentioned that to me, like what the intention of that thing was, but that's hilarious that he thought that was gonna work out. What's the weight of the ball at that point? It's like
no, dude, he was gonna print Can you print golf balls with a 3D printer? Is that something?
I mean, I think maybe you can, but you'd have to make it quite dense, and you'd have to have some like metal or something, some weight in the middle of it to actually make it substantive. I don't know.
Golf balls aren't plastic, are they? Or
the outside of it is plastic. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe Kix had a better idea than me. I think he still has that 3D printer, which is absolutely hilarious. Anyway, there's also a video from that era where me and Kix are looking at Bored Apes, and they're like 0.6 ETH, and I'm like, that's too expensive, so I don't really want to talk about that. Anyway, we can move on from this ape situation. I mean, look, you know, this is someone just texted me and said that they can 3D print golf balls for sure. We're not getting into the golf business, okay?
Well, you got to do those. If you've ever cut open one, I feel like the inside is like a rubber band ball, like on the inside of off of a golf ball, because it creates that springiness. Let's get into the technical.
Well, if by cut open, I feel like, Nick, what you're talking about is you just absolutely blast a drive and the golf ball explodes. Is that how you found out?
Yeah, well, because I have so much power. Yes, that is correct. I need to be careful when I'm when I'm hitting the balls. Clearly, he did enough research though that someone did like validate his thesis. Like, I don't think that. Well, I don't know with him. Yeah,
I don't know with him either. But if he did right now today a limited run of like 150 Kix golf balls, I think they would certainly sell out. Spencer.
I just someone in the YouTube comments said, is Portal Holders getting an airdrop of golf balls? And all I could picture in my head was Nick like smashing golf balls at holders, like at an event, like having them run around, be like, okay, catch one, like here you go, like putting it all the way across. Like, I don't know why that was the image in my head.
Or you could do it.
I couldn't get it out.
You're also like, we're doing limited run bullets.
Writing people's names on the bullets and the assassin. Yeah, exactly. No, but I do like that's hilarious, Spencer. I like the idea of the holders being down the fairway and Nick just raining drives on them. We could do golf balls and print Nick's face and my face on them so that people are just smashing our faces with golf clubs. There's a lot that we could actually do there. Maybe
What's weird, Pio, when Spencer brought up the golf balls, like I pictured them with Nick's face on them. I don't know why.
I'd gladly print them if you'll buy them.
So some people have a voice for radio, but Nick has a face for golf balls.
Oh my God.
That was a good one. Yeah, maybe we do limited run NFT morning show merch that's separate from like Bodago's merch and stuff like that. We'll see. Look, on the Bored Ape front, we talked about the ParaSpace situation. Obviously, Spencer did a deep dive on ape staking. Like, what is the current state of affairs with ape staking? Have people that have like a mutant and max ApeCoin staked, has that been a very strong move?
Obscenely profitable.
Okay.
The thing is, I think it's still close to like 100% APR on ApeCoin, and ApeCoin hasn't gone down 50%, right? So like, I don't know. Like, I think that it's been one of the better trades. It's also been surprising to me how few people are actually utilizing the staking. Like, it would not be as profitable if more people were doing staking with their ApeCoin. But no, one of the best trades since January has been just max staking ApeCoin.
Wow. Well, look at that. And you need to do that with a VPN because you can't do that in the United States legally, right?
You shouldn't do it with a VPN. Don't do anything to get around legal things, etc.
Well, look at that. Look at that going on record. Would you go on record and say that, Spencer?
Say what I just said? Yes, of course. Don't do illegal things. Don't get around laws by using VPNs.
Look at that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to the free NFT in just a moment. Last shout out to Phantom Wallet, today's sponsor. Look, if you're an NFT enthusiast, you need a wallet that is, and I want to emphasize this, purpose built for the community of people that trade NFTs. It's not for software engineers. It's not for people that are technical. It's for people that are buying and selling NFTs. That goes into the user interface. That goes into the security. That goes into all the functionality of the wallet. So you should check out Wallet because check out Phantom Wallet because their browser extension and mobile apps make it super easy to manage your NFTs across Ethereum, Matic, and Solana. You're going to buy Bodogos on Solana, you can use Phantom. You're going to buy Utes on Matic, you can use Phantom. You're going to buy a Mutant Ape on Ethereum, Phantom. Anyway, you can view all the details of each NFT. You can display it in the wallet, list it directly from the wallet, which I've been talking about. That's coming to Ethereum shortly. That's a dope feature. And there's the support for multiple seed phrases, so you're not going to burn gas fees sending ETH NFTs into your Phantom wallet. You can just import that wallet right into Phantom. So there's already millions of users. They're already using Phantom. What are you waiting for? Go to phantom.app. That's phantom.app for a superior user experience, security you can actually understand, and functionality that just flat out doesn't exist in other wallets with multi-chain support. What more can I say? Anyway, Clemente, we got our free NFT today. Let's go, homeboy.
Sorry, I was trying to put
take your time, Clemente. Take
I
your
was trying
time.
to put Nick's face on a golf ball for the last 10 minutes. So that was what I've been.
Clemente taking the lead on the merch initiatives. Let's go.
You could have just asked me, and I could have done it as well. Just I'm a
I wanted it to
Photoshop
be a
master.
surprise. I wanted it to be a surprise. All right, so the password for today's free NFT is
Anubis.
Anubis. It's actually Anubis. ANUBIS.
Anubis.
That's the password. ANUBIS.
Go to thenifty.com/claim. Put in the password Anubis.
What does that word even mean?
It's Anubis. It's the dog Egyptian like mummy or whatever. Or like in ancient Egypt they had artwork and sculptures of Anubis. So anyway, let's pull up this NFT. It's from the Bodogos Relics collection.
Here we go.
Here we go. Clemente's pulling it up on YouTube stream.
I'm closing.
Here we go. The title of the NFT is The Head of the Black Jackal. And the description is, as the mysterious headdress lies in its ancient tomb, its golden glow and intricate design hint at the secrets and power that lie within. The power and mystique of the head of the Black Jackal can be felt pulsing through the air, promising untold riches and rewards to those brave enough to claim it.
Blue Wood says we aren't cultured, and you can say that again.
Yeah, people named Nick and Clemente aren't. I came up with the title of the scope, the title, and the description of the damn NFT. So eat your heart out, Blueface or whatever his name was. Anyway, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Go to thenifty.com/claim. Type in Anubis, ANUBIS, for today's free NFT. Shout out to today's sponsor one last time. That is Phantom Wallet, the superior wallet for your NFTs. We do the show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. Eastern time, every damn day, or Monday through Friday, not every day, every damn week. Check it out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, if you want to share it with people outside of the Twitterverse, and also on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces during the show. We will be back tomorrow.